This is the video you've been looking for. Over the next 3 days, I'm going to head out to our new gold mine. We're going out there with the management team that I've put together. We're going to look through all of the documentation, the studies, and decide where we're going to start mining this year. We're going to put together our plan for our augmented equipment that we're going to buy for the property, and I'm going to let you come with me on this entire journey. It's me and Willie right there. We're jumping on a plane to British Columbia to sights unseen. We're not going to tell you any more than that. Just watch this video. You're in for some big surprises. Yeah, so for anybody who hasn't heard the story yet, or heard the news, just about a month ago, myself and Willie and Rose and Joe bought a gold mine in British Columbia. I won't tell you any more than that right now because it's a fucking gold mine. But we're on our second trip out there now. We're heading out to take a good look at the sites we're going to be actually mining at this year. And we're meeting the whole team out there. We're going to hire a couple more people that are going to work with us. And we're finalizing our equipment list. So we're buying about $500,000 in new equipment. And our whole plan is to take the daily production ability from the current 5 ounces up to 30 ounces a day, so we can really push it and see what we got our hands on. Right now I'm just walking down to the gate. We're in the Toronto airport, heading out to Kelowna, British Columbia, I'll tell you that. So I'm just gonna do one long video, show you guys all about the trip and what we're doing on this crazy adventure. Come on, Willie, let's go. That's Willie up there. He always gets stuck. I don't know what it is. So our life adventure on this trip is going to be, where's Willie? All right, let's go on to this plane. Let me tell you what educated risk is.
Well done, man.
So I bought this business, and we know that they're currently mining, and they have been for 20 years, 3 to 5 ounces of gold a day. And it's a bit of a speculation for us, so we know that's there. So we know it's at least a $2 to $5 million a year business. But we also saw some old reports that said there's about 65 different places on this site that have gold deposits, which means the upside is huge. So at bare minimum, it's a business that'll do $5 million a year, but then the upside, the risk, or the educated risk, is what the yield could be in the future. It's funny, we're just jumping off the plane here now. Here we are, Kelowna, BC. I get a lot of people that ask me, like, how do I justify the risk of jumping into an industry I've never been in before? Because I've done that. I bought 3 businesses this year in 3 different industries. Here's how I did it. Every time I buy a business, the gold mine is the same. I go out and I look for people, first and foremost, that know the industry already. So I got this hooligan here doing this with me because he's an expert in, well, I've been told he's an expert in heavy equipment.
Yeah, tag, you're it, apparently.
He has a friend who runs a major gold exploration company, and then our partner has actually worked in gold mines before. So I've been studying gold mines for like crazy for the last 4 months. But that's really the secret. And what I'm doing is partnering with people. I bring my expertise, they do. I manage the businesses, I raise the money, he takes care of the equipment. It all works out together. And that's probably my biggest secret. And hey, like I said before, if you guys want to know more about this stuff, check out the YouTube channel. We're now on the 5-hour drive from the Kelowna airport where we landed up to the gold mine. And I am the guy in the back. That's Willie, the driver. And that's Joe, the head. And me, the executive in the back. They're not saying nice things to me right now. But I want to talk to you guys about for a second. For those of you guys that are going to go on this journey with me and watch this gold mine grow, I want to talk to you about how I'm actually buying it and how we're arranging the financing for it. And again, anytime I'm talking about financing or teaching you guys how to raise money, I want to make sure that I'm going to start prefacing every time I say it by issuing my own disclaimer. I am not giving financial advice. I am not telling you how to do this. What I'm telling you is I have a team of lawyers that guide me through everything I do when it comes to raising money. And we do that because I own a major mutual fund trust. and I want to make sure that we stay completely compliant with regulators. In the middle of all the regulation, there are ways that I raise money that are very unique, and it really has to do with what I'm buying and how I'm buying it. So in the case of the Goldmine, what I'm actually buying is 4 acres of land and 1,800 acres of mining rights, so a house on the land and everything. And if you watch my videos on YouTube, then you know I regularly publish videos. And I did a video a couple months ago where I said I'm only going to buy real estate that has real revenue attached to it. So I'm not going to just buy any more multifamily or any stuff like that because there's not enough money in it. I'll build resorts because they have 50% profit margins and they can make 10. An average resort I'm building is going to make 15, 20 million a year in revenue and 10 million in profit. Goldmine, buying a goldmine, obviously you can figure out there's lots of revenue in it, but when you're buying a business or buying an entity that has lots of revenue attached to it, then you can really easily raise the money for it. And you can offer really incredible incentives. And a friend of mine, somebody everybody knows, his name is Kevin O'Leary, taught me a technique for raising money called royalties that have literally made it so much easier for me to acquire businesses. And that's what I've put to use here. So when we did all the numbers, we're paid $1.3 million for the gold mine. We need to raise, we need another $500,000 to buy some extra equipment so we can take our daily capacity from about 10 ounces a day to 30 ounces a day in phase 1. And of course, on top of that, we need some working capital because we have to hire some employees before we're even going to start mining. So the number we came up with was $2.5 million. Now, I have to do this with friends and family because there are exemptions from the rules in Canada. The biggest rules in Canada with all the regulators say that if you're raising money from people you don't know, then they have to be accredited investors. Or they can be, there's another level down for that. I can never freaking remember the name of it. But you can't even access anybody below accredited investors unless you're using an exempt market dealer. So if I stick with friends and family, people that I truly know, I love, I trust, and we're connected, then I don't have to worry so much about them being accredited as long as we have a relationship. And I wouldn't take somebody's last dollars from them anyway, but here's what I decided to do. To raise all of that money, which we raised in just over a month, all from people that I know, I offered to borrow the money from them in a loan where I'm going to pay them 12% per year, which is a very standard private lending rate. And I have my lawyers involved in doing the documents and just collecting the money and all this stuff to keep it very, very clean. But on top of that, there's no law that says I can't do royalties on top of that. So what I'm doing for every single person, because the gold mine is going to make so much money, is we're offering royalties in addition to the interest rates. So for every $100,000 that people lend us, we're going to give them $176,000 worth of gold. So what that means, the total they're getting, if they lend us $100,000, they're going to get $200,000 in interest and royalties and their $100,000 back. So if you can think about that, that is an incredibly lucrative offer for a lender. Because I know a lot of people, I have a ton of friends that like to lend money, and they lend money to me regularly. I had our lawyers put together a loan agreement, a loan/royalty agreement, and started circulating it amongst friends, people that normally participate in these types of projects with me, and I was able to raise the money really quickly. Now, from our perspective, we're doing this over a 2-year term, the loan, so it allows us to acquire all the money we need at a reasonable price, and then the royalties are being paid out of 70% of the gold that's mined. And so if we mine a lot of gold really quickly, we'll pay the royalties quickly and we'll be done with it. But what it allowed us to do is it allowed us to buy a business that is making $3 to $4 million a year right now. And for the $2.5 million, we're going to pay $7.5 million. But we can do it at a pace where we still make money, the business can stay healthy, and everybody wins. So that's the little piece on the story about how we actually raised the money to buy the mine. Right now we're driving down a highway. We just passed 80 Mile House, then we passed 90 Mile House. Now we're coming up on 100 Mile House. That's the most I'm going to tell you about where we're going. We got into our accommodations safely last night around 7 o'clock, and a really wonderful family here in this town that have like a bed and breakfast type setup. So we're staying with them all weekend. We're about 20 minutes from our actual Goldmine property, where the 1,800 acres starts and where we're actively mining right now. We're going to start actively mining in just 2 months from now. And it's early. I don't know if you can see out the window or not. It's hard to see it with everything. It's actually a beautiful location here early in the morning. But oh yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can kind of quickly show you. I don't have any shoes on, so that's a river that flows into a big lake. It's about 20 miles long and about 3 miles wide. It's just so beautiful and quiet out here. Look at this. It's just wonderful. And that's part of the gold mining business that I wasn't really expecting, but it's unbelievable. It's serene. So when we're out here, it's going to be like a little bit of a retreat at the same time. So I'm excited about it. Got a whole day planned here. We're going to be out checking out the sites, going right down to them, looking at some of the equipment. And then most importantly, we're going to be designing our plan for launch. So what equipment do we need to bring into the property? How much is that going to cost? What's the budgets for it? What are the operating costs actually going to be day by day by day? So we can figure out the net profits. And I will share all that information with you in another video. All right, this is the moment of truth. This is what you guys have all been waiting for. This is the main mine site. And of course, we've got Jim, who we're buying the property from, who's going to stay on with us, Joe and Willie there. And this is the wash plant. Now, it's hard to see what this really is at this time of year, right? Because it's covered in snow. But we'll be back here in the summer when we're actually mining and you'll get it. But this is the first time we're seeing it. It looks like Jim went down in a pile. So that's a wash plant there. Then we'll take a look over here and you'll see some of the other important parts of this. So just think about it this way, friends. This is the mine. So what we're actually doing is called placer mining, which means we're digging the dirt off the surface and digging down in the ground. So use these big excavators to dig it out. And then over here you can see we've got a big dump truck. We put all the dirt in there, we bring it over to this wash plant, which is the green machine I was showing you earlier. And we have another excavator over there. The dump truck dumps it on the ground, the excavator puts it into the wash plant. It separates all the gold from the dirt in there. And then we start cleaning it up and bottling it. And that's really what it is. So you can see it's not a complicated business. The thing that I've learned so far and hanging out with these guys have had confirmed, as long as you know there's gold there, then the rest is just getting it out of the ground. And that's what we have. So this is an active mine over here where he's been mining from for the last couple of years. And then on the other side of this open area, there's another half a mile strip that they're going to start taking the trees out of as soon as April comes. And we're going to start mining there. And it's amazing. So we're going to just spend a little time here right now and just look at the equipment, start to understand the process a little bit. Then we're going to head back over to Jim's place and put our equipment list together. All right, so the next step in this process, we're actually back at Jim's house. Jim is the miner that I'm buying the property from. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of what a real, authentic miner's place looks like. This is his front room. Take a look at this. Look at all the old artifacts. You can see that, and then all down here. So what we did for the last 2 hours is sat down and talked through exactly what we need, how we're going to hang this out. And you can see over there is Willie and Jim just having a conversation about the heavy equipment, and then Wendy, Jim's wife, is there with Joe, and they're talking about the resources, and of course yours truly, I'm just managing the whole thing, making sure everybody does their jobs. But that's what building a real team is about. Like, this is what I love about what we're doing with this gold mine. We know there's a ton of gold there. We know there's thousands of ounces gold there. I'm going to show you something really freaking special right now. These are the maps I've been talking about with some of my lenders that are proving this. So what you're actually looking at right now are maps that show you on the property. All these really pink spots here are the deep benches where there are thousands of ounces of gold. And you can see this is probably the most important map. Where he's mining right now is up in this area where he's been getting hundreds of ounces a month. This is where we're going to start mining this year. And this pink and dark pink area is an area that probably has 10,000 ounces of gold in it. These are all geological studies that prove that this is going on. So anybody that's really been following what I'm doing with this project, I told everybody that when I first came out here, they showed me the gold. They showed me what was going on, but then they showed me those geological studies that really prove this works. All right, I think we've had a plan come together, so here's tentatively what we're doing. We're gonna spend about $450,000 on augmenting the equipment that's there on site that you guys saw yesterday. We're gonna basically set up the start in April for the potential to have 3 different sites mining gold. We're gonna get back to mining the active site he was on because there's gold there now and we can start claiming that gold right away. And then he's got another site which is basically in the same general area that we're going to start as well. We're going to get a team in there clearing trees right away. And then we have a third site that's about a mile up the road that is, if you look at the, head over to my Facebook page and look at the maps that I put on there, the geo maps. It's an area that has that deep pink red coloring on the map, which tells you that there's really heavy rock there and potential for a lot of gold. So that's it for this trip. That's it for episode 1. It's going to be an amazing adventure. Check back here every once in a while. We'll keep adding videos to this, and hopefully we're doing a long series that includes some videos around how we're scaling this to $100 million or $1 billion or whatever it is. But for now, it's a wait and see. We're excited. We know there's gold there. We've got the right team together. Joe's going to be moving out here and managing the project for us, living here full-time, working full-time. Willie's going to be out here at the beginning of mining, just to get his head wrapped around the heavy equipment and the processes. And I'll probably be out here too, just causing trouble. We'll see you then.